Welcome back to my channel. We've got some big updates on the next stimulus package, huge updates for seniors, and specifically updates on which states are sending stimulus checks in December. So stick around to see if you're in any of these states that are sending stimulus checks and exactly who would qualify. So before we jump into it, do me a quick favor, hit like, hit subscribe, and share this channel with anyone who you think might find this helpful. This is a community for seniors, and my job here is to be a voice for you, be a voice for everyone on SSI, SSDI, VA benefits, Social Security, everybody across the board, because President Biden made a bunch of promises, and we're here to make sure he sticks to those. He promised to increase Social Security, SSI, SSDI, VA benefits, and even hopefully do a stimulus check for seniors as well. Of course, Bernie Sanders is trying to include that stimulus check for seniors in this next stimulus package. So thank you all for your support, and thank you for being a part of this community. If you really want to support my work, subscribe to my second channel. The link to that is going to be in the comments of this video, and on that channel we're going to have some updates as well, but it's going to mostly be more of an entertainment channel. I'm going to be on camera with a live chat, so you can chat with me and you can chat with the community. We're going to be playing bingo, so you can play bingo with me live, and doing other fun things like announcing lottery winning numbers as well. So if you want to subscribe to that channel, the link to that is going to be in the comments of this video, and I'm also going to be giving away stimulus checks on that channel. So I'm going to try and do once a week at first, and hopefully even more depending on how big that channel gets. So before we jump into it, let's do a quick update on daily trending news. Now, President Biden was just on The Tonight Show last night, and Jimmy Fallon asked him about his approval ratings. At this point, most of you know that his approval ratings are tanking, along with the Democratic Party in general. And this isn't only bad for the country, because obviously if the approval ratings are bad, that means he's not doing such a great job. It's also bad for the Democratic Party, because there are a lot of seats up for re-election next year in both the House and the Senate, and Democrats are worried they're going to lose those seats. But let's quickly take a look and see what President Biden said. President Joe Biden has few things to say to Jimmy Fallon regarding his low approval ratings. On Friday evening, President Biden appeared virtually on The Tonight Show. So you see, he wasn't really there. This is actually just a screen he was on, kind of like a Zoom call. And when Jimmy Fallon asked Biden if he pays attention to his low approval ratings, the commander-in-chief replied, "Well, not anymore," in a deadpan manner before saying he was joking. Biden said that he pays attention when the ratings are only high in the mid-60s, but when it's low in the mid-40s, he doesn't pay attention anymore. And then in a more serious response, Biden said, "Well, look, here's the deal, folks. We've been at it less than a year. A lot has happened. Look, people are afraid, people are worried, and people are getting so much inaccurate information about their lives, being told that Armageddon's on the way." Biden said the truth is the economy's grown more than it has at any time in the last 60 years. The unemployment rate is down to 4.2%, and it's going lower in my view. He did address the fact that inflation is hurting the American people, especially seniors who are on a fixed income. So, all jokes aside, President Biden was trying to kind of laugh things off, but this is a serious issue, folks. Inflation, it's making everything so much more expensive. And when we have seniors on fixed incomes, seniors don't really have a good way of making extra money. I mean, people who are young, they can work extra jobs, they can work overtime, they can switch jobs and try and get a raise. But when you're on Social Security benefits, you're pretty much stuck at what you're getting every single month. You're getting the same payment every month, except for COLA increases, which of course are never enough. Let's be honest, right? So with inflation being so bad, this is one reason why I keep saying, and people like Bernie Sanders keep saying, we need a stimulus check for seniors, right? Because things are getting more expensive, and seniors don't really have many options as far as making more money. So if you're going to do a stimulus check for any group of people, personally, I would say seniors deserve stimulus checks, and let me know in the comments if you agree. Now, as far as stimulus checks at the state level, there's about 5 or 6 states sending stimulus checks. Of course, California is the most notable one. Remember, California has done actually 5 stimulus checks at this point, the 3 national stimulus checks, and then they've had 2 Golden State stimulus checks, and they're saying that about 800,000 people in California will receive that 5th stimulus check by December 17th. So that's going to be a nice little Christmas gift for people in California. But specifically for seniors in California, let's talk about that, and then we'll jump into all the other states who are sending stimulus checks this month. Now, seniors on Social Security in California, I've been getting a lot of questions here like, there's Golden State stimulus checks, but seniors don't qualify. Well, the answer is some of them do, some of them don't. Unfortunately, it's really ridiculous. One of the worst things, in my opinion, that Governor Newsom did is a lot of seniors were excluded from the Golden State stimulus, and it's honestly completely insane. But let's take a look and see who qualifies in California and who doesn't. Then we'll talk about the other states. This article is titled Senior Stimulus: Which Social Security Recipients Will Still Receive a Golden State Payment? Now, there's still some confusion as to whether Social Security recipients will be receiving a Golden State Stimulus second stimulus payment. It all depends on state guidelines, and only certain Social Security beneficiaries will receive California's stimulus check. Now, technically, Californians who receive Social Security benefits are eligible for the second Golden State stimulus check, and these payments are going to be up to $1,100. That's $600 for adults and $500 for a qualifying dependent. Now, to qualify for this, you have to meet a certain requirement, and this shows that counting your other sources of income, not Social Security benefits, you have to have an adjusted gross income between $1 and up to $75,000 on your 2020 tax return. So what this means is if you worked a part-time job at all, if you live in California, you get Social Security benefits, but you worked once a month for a couple of hours, you're going to get this stimulus check in California, even if you're on Social Security. Now, unfortunately, if you're on Social Security in California, they're sending these state stimulus checks, but you don't make any other income. You didn't make $1 from working part-time or anything like that. Unfortunately, you're not going to get this Golden State stimulus. And it's completely ridiculous because seniors who only have a fixed income need this more than anybody else. So I don't know if this was like an accident from Governor Newsom or if this was like a purposeful thing he did to exclude seniors who weren't working. I mean, if you're not working now and you're 65, 70 years old, but you've worked for 50 years and paid taxes, I mean, I think you deserve this stimulus check more than anybody. Let me know in the comments if you agree, but sorry for the bad news, folks, but unless you make at least $1 in income in 2020 or made $1 in income in 2020, not counting Social Security, unfortunately, you're not going to get these state-level stimulus checks in California. So sorry for the bad news there. But let's talk about which states are sending stimulus checks in December and exactly who qualifies. This article is titled Stimulus Update. See what states are sending stimulus checks in December. Now, millions of Americans are expected to receive stimulus payments around Christmas time by way of their local state governments. Some states issue their own stimulus checks, and others are even providing universal basic income payments, which are basically monthly stimulus payments. Let's take a look and see if your state is sending stimulus payments this month. Now, California, we just spoke about. So let's talk about the next one, which is Florida. Florida is planning to issue stimulus checks in December to first responders, preschool through 12th grade teachers, and those who meet the financial requirements to receive a one-time payment of $1,000 via a stimulus check. Governor Ron DeSantis states that 175,000 teachers and 3,600 principals will be eligible for the check. The state stimulus program for teachers is an attempt at retaining school staff after a particularly hard year for education sector workers. Now, that's great for Florida. Unfortunately, it only includes teachers and principals. But honestly, I mean, do principals really need stimulus checks? I mean, they usually make six figures, right? But that's what they're doing in Florida. Now, Maine. Maine has been sending out stimulus payments via the state government since November 15th. The checks in the amount of $285 have been distributed to over 500,000 people thus far. So if you live in Maine, it's a small stimulus check, but it's $285. Check with your local government's website to see if you qualify for this state-level stimulus check in Maine. Now, Maryland. Maryland is sending stimulus checks to low-income families and low-income individuals. Qualifying families will receive $500 and individuals will receive $300. Now, as far as states sending stimulus checks in December, that's basically it. But we do have a couple of cities sending stimulus checks at the city level. So let's take a quick look. Chicago. Low-income families and individuals in Chicago have been receiving universal basic income payments if they make less than $35,000 per year. Payments have been in the form of $500 stimulus checks per month, and participants of the program are chosen at random. So let me know, guys, if you know anyone on this program. Personally, I live in Chicago, and I actually haven't seen or heard of anyone getting these monthly stimulus checks. But obviously, this is a small program, and quite honestly, I think these city-level programs could get their own video. So I might be making a deeper video on this and for the rest of the city stimulus checks as well. But the next one is Washington, D.C. They have been sending $500 payments to 100 low-income fathers since September in what is a universal income pilot program. Now, it looks like New Orleans, Pittsburgh, and Santa Ana are all doing stimulus checks at the city level as well. New Orleans is sending $350 in monthly payments to some children who qualify. Pittsburgh is doing a small program where they're sending 200 households $500 a month for 2 years. And it looks like a city in California, Santa Ana, is going to get an additional $300 stimulus payments loaded on a debit card, depending if you qualify based off of your income. So I know these programs at the city level, they're a bit niche. It's more of like you either have to qualify or you have to be accepted into this pilot program. But it's good to see that there's more cities and more states every week doing more stimulus checks and more universal basic income programs, because that gives us hope that, hey, there could be more states doing it next week, and there is every week. So please subscribe. I'll always keep you posted as more cities and more states continue to create these programs. So hopefully one day you'll qualify for one of these as well. Now, when it comes to stimulus checks at the national level, a lot of people are saying that the reason President Biden is doing so poorly in the polls is because they still have not approved a fourth round of stimulus checks, and especially because they haven't done increases for Social Security benefits or a specific stimulus check for seniors. Now, let me know in the comments, folks. Do you think that's one of the main reasons why his polls are so low? Or do you think it's things like inflation and the way he's been handling the pandemic? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. In any case, it's really interesting to see what Democrats are going to do, because a lot of experts are saying, like to Democrats, if you want to win those elections next year, 2022, they're going to have seats in the House and in the Senate up for re-election. And a lot of political experts are saying that one of the best things they can do to try and win those elections and maintain control of Congress is to do another round of stimulus checks. And even if they just did one for seniors, there's a good chance they would win those elections, because seniors have the highest voting rate out of any age group in this country. So with that said, this clip from Fox News does a really good job of talking about why Democrats are doing so poorly in the polls and why the American people are so frustrated. Now, full disclosure here, this is Fox News, so obviously they're going to be really harsh on Democrats. But on this channel, I like to show you both sides. I show you CNN, I show you Fox News, and I'll show you everything in between. So this is not me taking sides. I'm not trying to take sides with Fox News, but I'm not taking sides against them. Just showing you both sides so you can come to your own conclusions. But with that said, folks, if you want to stick around for this clip, let's take a look, see exactly what they had to say. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you on the next video.
Friday after Thanksgiving. Another red wave warning, meanwhile, for the Democrats. REO Speedwagon for your third Friday after Thanksgiving. Another red wave warning, meanwhile, for the Democrats. Politico now reporting how, quote, the Democratic brand is broken and the infrastructure bill isn't fixing it, while Biden voters apparently have no clue what the party actually stands for. And don't count on the president to bail them out in 2022. A new poll reveals his approval rating at an all-time low within his own party. Let's go to the Democrat at the table, Jesse.
Lucky me.
Yes. What can Democrats possibly do to avoid, forget wave, the red tsunami that is coming in 2022? Because remember, President Obama, even passing Obamacare, lost 63 seats in 2010. Donald Trump lost 43 in 2018, despite the tax cuts. So you got to figure here, you're looking at 60, maybe 70 seats gone. So not just losing the House, but Republicans having a strong majority. And then the Senate, one seat has to flip.
Right.
And then you get Cocaine Mitch back as your majority leader.
Cocaine Mitch feels like he never went away from me. History is a very good predictor of what's to happen, and that's why it's been so important that Democrats get through these big pieces of legislation. You know, we have Build Back Better if it gets through the Senate, the American Rescue Plan, and then the bipartisan infrastructure plan, which is a win for both sides there. But Democrats are definitely nervous about this. You know, three key categories of focus: independence. If you look at the results out of New Jersey and Virginia, that's a big problem. Looking at where the Hispanic vote is going, that's trending much more conservative, whereas the Asian vote is actually drifting more Democratic. And then looking at what's going to go on with those moderate Republicans and the white college-educated men specifically, who did come over to vote for Joe Biden after Trump and seem to be shifting back. I am hopeful that people can just message on the policies and also show the empathy and the concern that Joe Biden won on in 2020. Because yes, COVID was obviously a huge part of that, but the attitude was even more important, which was I hear you, I see you, I feel what you're feeling.
Okay, Sean, as the former member of Congress here. Here's the thing about the infrastructure bills where I push back, that even if this next one does pass, it's another couple $1 trillion into the economy. You have Jen Psaki laughably saying that no economist says that it will add to inflation, adding these trillions. Of course, you know, plenty of economists are saying that. You take Econ 101, you know that. But even if we look at the infrastructure bill in terms of roads and bridges and power grids, right? Those things will take many, many years to either upgrade or fix or add, right? And once it is upgraded, let's say, in other words, no one's ever saying, you know, my power hasn't gone out for a while. The power grid's working pretty well. Or, boy, that bridge didn't collapse when I just drove over it. I got to thank Joe Biden for that. In other words, I don't think that these will even have a positive impact, even when they're passed and even by the time they're even built, because people expect their government to have these things running well anyway.
Well, the problem is Democrats didn't reform the way that we get approvals for these projects, so they won't happen for 10 years, so people won't see the results of them.
Right.
And so, Jessica, I would disagree with you in that it's not the messaging of the policy, it's the policy itself that people don't like. And when you look at things that people care about, they care about the economy, they care about inflation. And you look at borders, inflation, crime, COVID, energy, the withdrawal from Afghanistan, Democrats have nothing to run on. And when you look at what Joe Biden focuses on, which is the weather, and he's also focusing on race, those don't even hit the list of things that people care about. And so if you want to get elected, actually listen to people. What do you care about? What do I need to fix? And the policies are going to make inflation much worse, which is going to make the election results in a year from now that much harder for Democrats, that much harder for Democrats, that much.
Welcome back to my channel. We've got some big updates on the next stimulus package, huge updates for seniors, and specifically updates on which states are sending stimulus checks in December. So stick around to see if you're in any of these states that are sending stimulus checks and exactly who would qualify. So before we jump into it, do me a quick favor, hit like, hit subscribe, and share this channel with anyone who you think might find this helpful. This is a community for seniors, and my job here is to be a voice for you, be a voice for everyone on SSI, SSDI, VA benefits, Social Security, everybody across the board, because President Biden made a bunch of promises, and we're here to make sure he sticks to those. He promised to increase Social Security, SSI, SSDI, VA benefits, and even hopefully do a stimulus check for seniors as well. Of course, Bernie Sanders is trying to include that stimulus check for seniors in this next stimulus package. So thank you all for your support, and thank you for being a part of this community. If you really want to support my work, subscribe to my second channel. The link to that is going to be in the comments of this video and on